also now go across to Anurag Bhadoria of the SP joining us over the phone line. Anurag Bhadoria जी, finally कपिल सिब्बल ने जो है कांग्रेस का साथ छोड़कर SP को ज्वाइन कर लिया है. He was also part of the G23 who were rebelling against the Congress party. आपका क्या कहना है इस पर?
देखिए, सवाल ये है कि जिस तरह की राजनीति देश में चल रही है और विपक्ष में जिस तरह की बात उठाने की जरूरत है और समाज के असली मुद्दों को पार्लियामेंट के अंदर में, सदन में और सदन के बाहर मजबूती से उठाने की जरूरत है. जिस तरह की महंगाई, बेरोजगारी, महिलाओं पर अत्याचार और देश की अर्थव्यवस्था जिस तरह से टूट रही है, तो यहाँ पे बात उठाने वाले मजबूत की जरूरत है. तो लोगों को, समाजवादियों पे यकीन हो रहा है कि समाजवादी मात्र एक ऐसी पार्टी है जो समाज में सामाजिक मुद्दों पे लड़ाई लड़ रही है और हम सामाजिक मुद्दों पे लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं, तो लोगों को पसंद आ रहा है.
जी, और धन्यवाद भदौरिया जी हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए. गोइंग बैक टू रंजीता once again. So Ranjita, this is a big blow coming into the Congress party. He was also part of the G23 leaders who were opposing. All right, before that, let me also now go across to Sanjay Jha joining us over the phone line. Sanjay Jha, your first response, Kapil Sibal leaving the Congress party.
Well, then effectively now you have G22. So, I do believe that Mr. Sibal has been a terrific and an outstanding asset for the Congress party over decades, not just as a phenomenal lawyer, but as a great parliamentarian. He's a strategic thinker. He talked of reforms and change within the Congress, and I'm sure that to a great extent he was probably frustrated with the fact that not many things happened. But it's good news for the Samajwadi Party. But on the other hand, I'm glad that he has always believed that India's democratic character or its secular credentials need to be saved, and at least he will be battling on that front alongside the Congress. So there is a positive side to this negative news for the Congress, because it is losing, in my opinion, a formidable political personality.
Absolutely. And Sanjay Jha, another question to you. Recently, we have seen two other exits like Sunil Jakar and Hardik Patel. And now we have Kapil Sibal leaving the Congress party. He spoke about how he wants to form a formidable opposition against the BJP for 2024. How would you respond to that?
Well, I do feel that, end of day, losing elections is one thing, but I feel losing good, talented people, that to me is a more spectacular worry, because it is very difficult to replace talent. When you look at Mr. Jakar, decades of political experience at the ground level. Mr. Sibal has been actually one of the most visible characters on India's political tapestry. So I do believe that somewhere at the end of the day, the Congress party will have to stop these leakages. You cannot afford to lose people. You cannot be casual about anybody in the party who's feeling disillusioned or disaffected. I think Rahul is right when he says that there needs to be conversations, but the party is not having enough dialogue within. And and these dialogues need to happen where access is opened up to anybody in the party. I'll give you an example. You're in Times Now. If you have a reporter who's disgruntled, you're going to lose him to a rival channel. And the best thing you do is to hold him back and find out why is somebody, wanting to walk away. Now, if you're not going to engage with people, especially those who are disappointed, I mean, this is where the whole culture needs to be a lot more, focused towards those people who are angry or, have angst.
Right.
Because otherwise you are always surrounded by people who are very sycophantic and say, no, everything is hunky-dory. So I think the Congress needs to work on this, because this is bad news for the Congress undoubtedly, but I know Mr. Sibal personally, so I will tell you this. Mr. Sibal is convinced that in 2024, if you are not able to defeat the BJP, then the country's character will change in terms of its democratic, outlook. And
right.
I do believe that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sanjay Jha, for joining us here on Times. Now we'll also play out some more reactions coming in. First up of Akhilesh Yadav as well.
जिनको सदस्य बनाना है पार्टी को, बहुत जल्दी वो लोग नामांकन कर देंगे. आज कपिल सिब्बल जी ने किया है, वो समाजवादी पार्टी के समर्थन से राज्यसभा में जा रहे हैं. पहला नॉमिनेशन हुआ है. इस तरह पार्टी की तरफ से 2 और जा सकते हैं. बहुत जल्दी उनका भी नॉमिनेशन हो जाएगा.
कपिल सिब्बल जी के आने से किस तरीके से देखते हैं? क्या
कपिल सिब्बल जी वरिष्ठ अधिवक्ता रहे हैं. देश के जाने माने केसेस उन्होंने लड़े हैं. वो लोकसभा में रहे हों, राज्यसभा में रहे हों, उन्होंने बात को अच्छी रखा है ढंग से. पॉलिटिकल कैरियर भी है उनके पास. एज ए लॉयर बहुत सक्सेसफुल लॉयर हैं. तो हमें उम्मीद है कि देश में जो बड़े बड़े सवाल हैं, आज देश किस रास्ते पर है, आज बेरोजगारी सबसे ज़्यादा है, महंगाई रुक नहीं रही है, कानून व्यवस्था ध्वस्त होती चली जा रही है, हमारी सीमाएं सुरक्षित नहीं हैं, चीन लगातार हमारी सीमाओं के अंदर आ रहा है। तो इन तमाम बड़े बड़े सवालों पर मुझे लगता है कपिल सिब्बल जी समाजवादी पार्टी और अपने विचारों को रख पाएंगे।
अब ये जो 2 नाम और हैं बचे हुए
बहुत जल्दी नाम घोषित हो जाएंगे, बहुत जल्दी नाम घोषित हो जाएंगे।
थैंक यू।
All right, let me also now go across to Majid Memon joining us over the phone line. Mr. Memon, how would you respond to Kapil Sibal finally, in fact, leaving the Congress party, joining SP, and he also speaks about forming a formidable opposition against the BJP for 2024?
Well, Kapil Sibal has been unhappy with the functioning of Congress party for quite some time. And as a matter of fact, he was rather bold enough to even make a clear dissent to the style of functioning by the Congress High Command. And he was insisting that nothing short of ouster of Gandhi family as far as the heading of the organization was concerned. He said at no cost he would accept a member of Gandhi family. And it certainly offended the Congress High Command. And he was not among those who, like Ghulam Nabi Azad or Anand Sharma or others who were also among G23, but still they have softened their stand and have also taken up some responsibility in the new committees that have been formed. But Kapil Sibal, since had returned, had gone to no point of no return, he had no option but to look for some other umbrella political support from which he could continue to be in the parliament. So I think he has chosen a secular party. And his determination to fight BJP in a combined strength is there.
So clearly it's time for Congress to introspect, and thank you, Mr. Memon, for joining us here on this broadcast. Tom Vadakan also join us on the phone line. Mr. Vadakan, your first response, Kapil Sibal finally leaving his loyalty to the Congress party and joins SP.
Waiting to happen. This doesn't come as a surprise because his contributions have never been even acknowledged. The point here is he has prevented so many congressmen from going to jail from top to bottom. There are many cases against them, corruption, you name it, and it's there. And he has prevented them from going to jail. And this ungrateful party has treated him badly. So naturally it was time that he would be going to either one of the parties. So I think we should develop wherever he goes because committed and workers and leaders like him are an to any party.
Absolutely. And Mr. Vadakan, is it also time for the Congress to introspect with the recent exits that they have also witnessed, be it Hardik Patel and now Kapil Sibal and before that Sunil Jhakar as well?
They have never learned the art of introspection. What they say is the final word. They believe what they don't know is not worth knowing. That's the kind of philosophy and ego that they have. So I don't think there's any course correction left with them. There was some hope with the shiver that happened in Jaipur, but Jaipur or Udaipur, I think. But then it's unfortunate. They didn't learn. There was a presentation made to them and they copy-pasted some of the suggestions and that's all in paper. Nothing more happened. It's back to business, the same style, same functioning, and the royalty declares it well, you know. If you don't suit their style of functioning, you're not relevant.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Vadakan, for joining us here on this broadcast.